What does it mean to be a woman with no friends? To stand alone in the midst of a world where connection, companionship, and social circles are so highly valued. In today's world, this might seem like an unfortunate state to be in. Society often teaches us that our worth is measured by the number of people who surround us, by the relationships we nurture, and the validation we receive from others. But today I want to offer a different perspective. You see, the idea of being alone or without friends is not always as isolating or as negative as it might first appear. In fact, there is a unique and profound power in embracing solitude, a power that, when fully understood and harnessed, can lead to deep transformation and self-liberation. Let me take you on a journey inside yourself, a journey into the realm of your own consciousness. The truth is, your relationships with others are merely reflections of the relationship you have with yourself. You've likely heard the saying that we cannot give what we do not have. When we feel disconnected or unsupported by others, it's often because we are disconnected or unsupported within. Being alone does not necessarily mean you are lonely. It can mean that you are on the verge of something incredibly profound. It can mean that you are on the threshold of rediscovering your true self, the self that is untethered from the expectations, judgments, and opinions of others. It is here, in the stillness of your own being, that you can access the infinite potential within. When we lack friendships or the deep connections we crave, we often look outward seeking validation from the world around us. But what if the most powerful connection you could ever form is the one with yourself? What if the friends you seek are already within you, and the journey is simply to align with your own higher self? In a world that often pressures us to fit in, to meet expectations, or to follow certain social norms, it's easy to forget that we are not here to conform. We are here to evolve. Every moment of solitude is an opportunity for inner evolution. The lack of friends can be a blessing in disguise, an invitation to rediscover who you truly are when you stop looking for yourself in others. Imagine for a moment that every thought you think, every belief you hold, and every emotion you feel is creating your reality. What if you could shift those thoughts, change those beliefs, and release those emotions to create a new experience? That's the beauty of being alone. It gives you the space to rewrite your story. If you feel disconnected from the people around you, it's likely because your energy is vibrating at a different frequency than those in your current circle. This isn't a judgment on them, it's simply an invitation for you to elevate your own energy. When you begin to raise your vibration, when you start aligning with the highest vision of who you are, you begin to attract relationships that are more aligned with your authentic self. But this begins within. It begins with the realization that you are the creator of your life experience. You are the one who shapes your perception of the world. And when you fully understand this truth, you stop waiting for others to complete you. You realize that you are already whole, and that nothing, no friendship, no external validation can ever take away from your inherent worth. Solitude, then, is not a punishment. It is a gift. It is a time of inner recalibration, where you can release the old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve you and step into a new way of being. In this space, you are not lacking anything. You are simply shedding the old layers of conditioning that no longer fit. The moment you embrace your aloneness, you begin to tap into the infinite potential of who you really are. And when you do that, the right people, those who are meant to walk beside you on your journey, will appear. But even then, you will no longer depend on them to complete you, because you will have already learned the most powerful lesson of all: you are enough exactly as you are. So I encourage you to not fear the loneliness or the solitude. Instead, see it as an opportunity. It's an invitation to break free from the limiting beliefs of the past, to reconnect with your deepest desires, and to align with your truest, most authentic self. And in doing so, you will find that the world around you, your relationships, your experiences, your interactions will begin to mirror that transformation. You are not defined by the number of friends you have, the approval of others, or the fleeting nature of external connections. You are defined by the strength of your inner world, the depth of your self-awareness, and the power you have to create a life that is aligned with your highest truth. Embrace the space within you, for it is in this space that your true transformation occurs. And from this place of inner alignment, friendships, authentic, genuine, and supportive, will naturally flow into your life. Solitude is often perceived as something to be avoided, a state that many equate with loneliness or isolation. However, solitude holds a far deeper and more transformative potential than most realize. It is in moments of solitude that we are afforded the opportunity to connect with the essence of who we truly are, free from external distractions, opinions, or expectations. In solitude, we are alone, but not necessarily lonely. It is the space where we confront our inner selves without the noise of the outside world, where we can begin to hear our true thoughts, desires, and emotions. When we are constantly surrounded by others, it's easy to lose touch with our own identity, to adopt the beliefs, values, and behaviors of those around us. In the hustle of social interaction, we often forget to listen to our inner voice, the voice that speaks our deepest truths. Solitude provides the space to reconnect with that voice, to reassess our values, desires, and goals. It is in this quiet space that we can begin to understand our true needs and desires, untainted by the influence of others. In solitude, we are forced to confront our thoughts and feelings, which may be uncomfortable at first. We may face fears, insecurities, or unresolved emotions that we have long suppressed. However, it is precisely in these moments of discomfort that true personal growth happens. By acknowledging and processing these inner challenges, we can transform them, heal past wounds, and step into a more authentic version of ourselves. Moreover, solitude enables a deep sense of self-reliance. When we learn to be comfortable in our own company, we stop seeking validation or fulfillment from external sources. We begin to recognize that the source of our happiness, strength, and power lies within. This shift in perspective allows us to become more resilient, more grounded, and more aligned with our true selves, regardless of the circumstances or people around us. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth and transformation. It is the ability to observe our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment, allowing us to understand the underlying patterns that shape our experiences. This deep understanding of ourselves is not something that comes easily or quickly. It requires time, patience, and a willingness to face both the light and dark aspects of our inner world. Self-awareness begins when we start to observe our automatic reactions and habitual thought patterns instead of merely reacting to the world around us. It's the realization that we are not our thoughts, but the observer of them. When we become aware of our internal dialogue, we can begin to discern which thoughts serve us and which ones limit us. Often we are conditioned by past experiences, cultural narratives, and societal pressures that shape our beliefs about who we are and what we are capable of. Self-awareness provides the space to question these beliefs, to see them for what they are, stories that no longer serve our highest good. As we begin to challenge and release these limiting beliefs, we create room for new, empowering thoughts to emerge. Self-awareness also allows us to better understand our emotional landscape. Emotions are not random or uncontrollable. They are signals that communicate deeper truths about our needs, desires, and boundaries. By becoming more attuned to our emotions, we can begin to respond to them consciously instead of reacting impulsively. This emotional intelligence helps us make decisions that are in alignment with our true selves, rather than being driven by external circumstances or the opinions of others. Furthermore, self-awareness helps us cultivate a greater sense of empathy and compassion, both for ourselves and for others. When we understand our own struggles and vulnerabilities, we are more able to extend that understanding to those around us. It becomes easier to build authentic connections based not on surface-level interactions, but on a deeper, shared recognition of our shared humanity. Through self-awareness, we realize that we are all on this journey together, each of us facing our own challenges, yet connected by our common experiences. Transformation is not a destination, but a continuous process of becoming. It is the shift that occurs when we begin to outgrow our old ways of thinking, feeling, and being. Transformation happens when we decide that we are no longer willing to live on autopilot, repeating the same patterns that have kept us stuck in our current circumstances. Instead, it is the conscious decision to evolve, to expand beyond our limitations, and to step into the highest version of ourselves. Transformation begins from within. It is an internal revolution that occurs when we challenge our beliefs, question our assumptions, and embrace new perspectives. This process often begins with discomfort. It's uncomfortable to let go of old identities and old stories, even if they no longer serve us. It's difficult to face the unknown, to step into a new version of ourselves without a clear roadmap. But it is in this space of uncertainty that true growth occurs. Transformation is not about waiting for external circumstances to change, it's about changing our inner landscape first. As we shift our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, the world around us begins to shift in response. This transformation involves shedding the layers of fear, doubt, and self-limiting beliefs that have been built over years of conditioning. These old patterns are often deeply ingrained, but they do not define who we are at our core. As we consciously choose to release them, we create space for new possibilities, new opportunities, and new ways of being. It's about embracing a new way of thinking, one that is based on abundance, possibility, and self-empowerment, rather than limitation and scarcity. Transformation also requires a commitment to growth and healing. It is about becoming more aware of our emotional triggers, our unconscious behaviors, and our habitual thought patterns. It's about recognizing that we are not victims of our past, but powerful creators of our future. As we begin to understand ourselves more deeply, we align ourselves with our highest potential. We stop living from a place of fear or limitation and begin to act from a place of love, courage, and self-belief. Transformation is the journey of remembering who we truly are. Authenticity is the act of being true to oneself, aligning one's thoughts, words, and actions with one's core values, beliefs, and desires. It is about showing up in the world as who we truly are, rather than as who we think others want us to be. In a world that often emphasizes conformity, authenticity is an act of courage. It requires the willingness to be vulnerable, to express oneself openly, and to embrace the unique qualities that make us who we are. Living authentically means letting go of the masks we wear to fit in or to gain approval from others. These masks can take many forms: the perfectionist, the people pleaser, the overachiever, or the caretaker. While these roles may serve us in certain situations, they often disconnect us from our true essence. Authenticity invites us to peel back these layers and reconnect with our inner selves. It asks us to ask difficult questions: what do I truly believe? What are my deepest desires? What do I stand for? When we live authentically, we are able to make choices that are aligned with our true values rather than with external expectations or societal pressures. This alignment creates a sense of inner peace and fulfillment because we are no longer trying to be someone we are not. Instead of seeking validation or approval from others, we find validation within ourselves. Authenticity allows us to trust ourselves, to honor our intuition, and to make decisions based on what feels right for us, not based on fear or the need for external validation. Furthermore, living authentically strengthens our relationships. When we show up as our true selves, we invite others to do the same. Authenticity fosters deeper connections because it creates space for realness and vulnerability. We stop pretending to be perfect and, in doing so, give others permission to be imperfect as well. It is in this space of authenticity that trust and genuine connection are born. Inner power is the profound strength that resides within each of us, often untapped and hidden beneath layers of doubt, fear, and conditioning. It is the ability to access our own resilience, wisdom, and creativity, drawing on an infinite well of potential that is available to us at any moment. This power does not come from external sources, nor is it dependent on circumstances. It is not something we need to seek out, it is something we must recognize and cultivate within ourselves. At its core, inner power is the ability to trust oneself fully. It is the confidence to make decisions, take actions, and stand firm in the face of adversity. When we tap into our inner power, we align with our true essence and become unstoppable in our pursuit of our goals. We stop relying on external validation or approval, realizing that the only validation we need comes from within. This recognition transforms the way we engage with the world. We become less reactive to external circumstances and more attuned to our inner guidance, trusting that we have all the resources we need to navigate any challenge that comes our way. Inner power also means embracing our emotions, thoughts, and experiences without judgment. It is understanding that we are not defined by our circumstances or past mistakes. Instead, we recognize that every challenge we face is an opportunity for growth and learning. This mindset shift allows us to approach life from a place of strength rather than from a place of fear or scarcity. We learn to see ourselves as capable of handling whatever life throws at us, and we begin to move through life with a sense of calm and confidence that others may not understand but will inevitably feel. Accessing our inner power requires vulnerability. It means facing our fears and stepping into the unknown, trusting that we have the strength to handle whatever arises. When we begin to understand and embrace our inner power, we no longer feel the need to control everything around us. Instead, we flow with life, knowing that we are always supported by the wisdom and strength within. Vibration is the frequency at which our thoughts, emotions, and energy resonate within the universe. Everything in existence, including us, is made up of energy, and this energy vibrates at certain frequencies. Our thoughts and emotions are not just passive reactions to the world around us, they actively influence the energy we emit, and in turn, the experiences we attract. The law of attraction suggests that like attracts like, meaning that when we vibrate at a certain frequency, we draw experiences, people, and opportunities that match that energy. When we are consciously aware of our vibration, we can begin to elevate it. Negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and unresolved emotions lower our vibration, creating an energetic field that attracts more of the same stress, frustration, and fear. However, when we consciously choose positive thoughts, self-love, gratitude, and emotional healing, we raise our vibration, attracting higher frequency experiences like peace, joy, abundance, and love. It becomes clear that our external circumstances are often a direct reflection of the internal state we carry with us. Raising our vibration is a practice, not a one-time event. It requires ongoing effort to monitor and shift our thoughts and emotions, especially in difficult situations. It means recognizing when we are slipping into negative patterns and choosing to respond differently, whether through meditation, affirmation, or simply taking a moment to breathe and reset. In doing so, we begin to rewire our energy field, moving away from the vibration of fear, anger, and lack, and towards the vibration of love, trust, and abundance. Our vibration is also influenced by the people we surround ourselves with. Energetic exchanges occur constantly in our relationships. Being around people who uplift and inspire us can help raise our vibration, while being around those who are negative or draining can lower it. Therefore, we must be mindful of the environments and relationships we choose, ensuring they support the high-frequency state we are working to cultivate. By consciously aligning our energy with what we desire, we begin to see our world shift in alignment with that new vibration. Evolution is the continuous process of growth and change that occurs throughout our lives. It is not just the biological or physical evolution that we often associate with species over generations, but a personal inner evolution that reflects our emotional, mental, and spiritual growth. Each stage of our life offers us new opportunities to evolve through challenges, experiences, and the choices we make. Evolution is not always a linear path. Sometimes it involves setbacks or periods of stagnation, but every step is part of the broader journey of becoming more aligned with our true potential. Personal evolution requires self-awareness and a willingness to let go of old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve us. We must be willing to confront the parts of ourselves that are limiting our growth, whether those are fears, doubts, or outdated thought processes. To evolve, we must first become aware of where we are holding ourselves back and then take the necessary steps to break free from those constraints. This often involves questioning long-held beliefs and values that we may have inherited from our upbringing, culture, or past experiences. As we challenge and transform these old ways of thinking, we begin to open up to new possibilities, perspectives, and ways of being. Embracing evolution means accepting that growth can be uncomfortable. It requires us to step into the unknown, to take risks, and to trust that the path forward, while uncertain, will lead us to greater fulfillment. We may face moments of doubt or fear, but evolution demands that we continue moving forward, even when the way is unclear. It is in these moments of discomfort that the most significant growth occurs as we push beyond our limits and redefine who we are. This evolution also involves learning from our mistakes and failures, recognizing that they are not setbacks, but essential steps in the process of becoming who we are meant to be. Every challenge offers us valuable lessons that, when embraced, lead to deeper wisdom and understanding. Through this ongoing process of growth, we continuously become more authentic, more capable, and more aligned with the highest version of ourselves. Self-love is the foundation upon which all other forms of love and connection are built. It is not a selfish or narcissistic act, but rather an essential practice that allows us to honor, care for, and appreciate ourselves. When we cultivate self-love, we develop a deep sense of worth and value that does not depend on external validation or the approval of others. It means accepting ourselves fully, our strengths, our flaws, our successes, and our mistakes without judgment or self-criticism. This acceptance is the first step in healing and growth, as it creates a space where we can nurture ourselves and make choices that align with our highest good. Self-love requires us to challenge the limiting beliefs and negative self-talk that have often been ingrained in us over the years. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that we must be perfect, that we must constantly strive to meet external expectations, or that we are only worthy of love and respect when we perform at a certain level. These beliefs are not the truth of who we are, but they often shape the way we view ourselves and the way we treat ourselves. By practicing self-love, we begin to reframe these beliefs, recognizing that we are inherently worthy of love and respect simply because we exist. To truly love ourselves, we must also prioritize our own well-being. This means taking care of our physical, emotional, and mental health. It involves setting healthy boundaries, saying no when necessary, and making time for activities that nourish our body and soul. Self-love is about listening to our inner needs and responding with compassion and care. When we take the time to nurture ourselves, we show ourselves that we are worthy of love and attention. Self-love also helps us build healthier, more authentic relationships with others. When we love ourselves, we no longer seek validation or approval from others to feel whole. Instead, we enter relationships from a place of completeness, which allows for deeper, more genuine connections. By loving ourselves fully, we create the space for others to do the same, fostering an environment where love, respect, and kindness can flourish. Energy alignment is the process of bringing our internal energy, our thoughts, emotions, and intentions into harmony with the external world around us. Everything, from our physical bodies to the universe itself, is made up of energy, and our personal energy field is constantly interacting with the energies of others in the environment. When we are in alignment, we feel a sense of flow, clarity, and purpose. Our thoughts, feelings, and actions are in sync, and the experiences we attract reflect this harmony. However, when we are out of alignment, we feel disconnected, overwhelmed, or stuck, and our experiences often mirror this inner chaos. Aligning our energy begins with self-awareness. It requires us to become conscious of the thoughts and emotions that we are holding, as these are the primary forces that shape our energetic frequency. Negative emotions such as fear, anger, or resentment lower our vibration, while positive emotions like love, gratitude, and joy raise it. To align our energy, we must first observe and release the negative or limiting beliefs that no longer serve us. This might involve confronting deep-seated fears or wounds and consciously choosing to let go of them, replacing them with more empowering thoughts and beliefs. Energy alignment also involves focusing our attention on what we desire rather than what we fear or lack. The energy we focus on expands, so by setting positive intentions and maintaining a mindset of abundance, we naturally begin to attract experiences that are in alignment with our goals and desires. This is not about forcing things to happen or trying to control the outcome, but about being open to the flow of life and trusting that the universe will support us when we align ourselves with its natural rhythms. In addition to mental and emotional alignment, energy alignment involves physical practices that support our well-being. This could include things like exercise, meditation, mindfulness, or simply spending time in nature. When our body, mind, and spirit are all in alignment, we experience a sense of wholeness and balance that allows us to live more fully and with greater ease. Through regular practices of energy alignment, we begin to create a life that reflects our highest intentions and true potential. Self-sufficiency is the ability to rely on oneself for support, strength, and resources, both emotionally and practically. It is the recognition that we are fully capable of meeting our own needs, making decisions, and navigating life's challenges without being overly dependent on others. While relationships, community, and support systems are vital, true self-sufficiency arises from the internal understanding that our power and worth do not come from others, but from within. It means developing the inner strength to trust ourselves, make choices based on our own values, and take responsibility for our own happiness and well-being. At its core, self-sufficiency is about empowerment. It requires us to develop the skills and mindset to manage our own lives, handle difficult situations, and solve problems independently. This doesn't mean isolating ourselves from others or refusing help when needed, but rather building a strong internal foundation so that we can stand firm in the face of adversity. When we cultivate self-sufficiency, we become less reactive to the opinions or actions of others. We stop looking for external validation or approval to feel worthy or capable. Instead, we learn to validate ourselves and trust our judgment. Self-sufficiency also involves emotional independence. It means developing the ability to regulate our own emotions and not rely on others to make us happy or fix our problems. We learn to create emotional stability within ourselves, finding peace and contentment regardless of external circumstances. This emotional resilience is built through self-awareness, self-compassion, and the willingness to confront and heal past wounds. The more we can stand on our own emotionally, the less likely we are to be swayed by the fluctuations of life. On a practical level, self-sufficiency encourages us to take control of our financial, physical, and mental well-being. This could mean setting goals, managing finances, cultivating healthy habits, or simply being proactive in learning and developing new skills. When we become self-sufficient, we are not just surviving, but thriving, empowered to create the life we desire, independent of outside circumstances.